All right, welcome everybody. This is $20 million referrals. And our goal here is to help you be the agent everybody loves to hire and refer. And we're focused on October in today's meeting. So glad to have you all here. Really quick, just to go over the steps in our process. As I mentioned, our goal is to help you be the agent everyone loves to hire and refer so that you have the results of a predictable, enjoyable, and a lucrative business. And we do that through our three-step process of number one, position you as the go-to real estate expert using our real ABS. Then we want to help you make your sphere of influence feel seen through consistent, valuable, and personal connections using the $20 million referral formula. And finally, to help you build lasting bonds and trust by making sure all your clients feel heard and understood using what we call our TCG approach, or our trusted client guide approach. And if you're unfamiliar with that, reach out to me afterwards and I'll get you all of the materials that help talk through each step of this process. So with these meetings, we like to get you in and out. We promised 20 minutes of material. We really pack it in, so we'll go quickly. By all means, you guys can jump in the chat as well to help participate with questions and answers. But today we're going to go over making it easy. We're going to talk about an agent success story. We're going to go over some monthly reminders. We're going to continue our series on the True Pro office observations because we know success leaves clues, right? And we want to follow up on those and see what makes sense for us in our business. And we'll talk about a few new sphere connection opportunities. So if we're ready for that, let's go ahead and dive in, and we will warm up with a couple of questions here. All right. So in the chat, yes or no, do you feel that all of your past clients remember your name? I'll let you guys go ahead and answer that. But if you don't want to answer it in the chat, we got Terrence answering in there, yes. Roxy, yes as well. Jeff, yes, good. I'm glad to hear it. That's what we want. We want everybody to remember our names. And I'm sure in this case, knowing each one of you, that statement probably is true. What I do want to bring up, just in case, is that 70% of clients out there, 70% of consumers report that they don't remember their real estate agent's name after just 12 months of completing or closing their transaction. That's an incredible statistic. I know people on this call, because you're so focused on it, you're probably not falling into that, but I want you to keep that in mind. Told a story last month from a client who said they absolutely love their buyer's agent. That buyer's agent went above and beyond, and they would have absolutely used them to sell their house. But 5 years later, they could not remember that agent's name. And unfortunately, because they were so busy, what they do, they ask their parents for who they used as a real estate agent, and that agent lost out on that deal, all because they didn't stay in touch and that person couldn't remember their name. So I guess the question that I'd like you to consider going forward is, if you feel like everybody remembers your name, how are you making sure? Just how are you making sure? And that could be as simple as just your regular connections with them to make sure you're in front of them. All right, question number 2, and you can go ahead and put a yes or no in the chat here. Does your sphere of influence, do they know you want their business and referrals? All right, yeah, I got a yes from Kelly. I got a yes from Roxy. Brian said yes, but need to get better at asking more. Jeff said yes as well. Lucy said, I hope so. That's good. I hope so too. Terrence says yes, room for improvement. So 2 points on this one. One, people tend to assume that you're doing well and that business is going well. So they may not always be consciously thinking about the fact that you really need or want their business or referrals. Number two, oftentimes we're asked, hey, how are things? How's business going? An answer we hear often is busy. Things are busy. We say that with all good intentions, wanting people to know that, hey, the market's busy or whatever it might be. But just be careful when you think about your answer from that standpoint, because sometimes people think about busy and they think, oh, you may not need my small deal over here or my small referral here, or I don't want to be the one that adds one more thing onto your plate. So just be careful and think about it, your answer to some of those questions, because sometimes we send the wrong message and our clients forget that we want their business and referrals all the time. So the question to consider on this one is, when was the last time you reminded them that you really want their business and referrals and are there to serve them and their referrals, no matter what the situation? All right, third and final question. Do you know what a member of your sphere is saying about you to a potential referral? They come across somebody talking about real estate. Do they know what to say? All right, the chat has gone silent with this one. So here's some of them. Great, Brian. Appreciate the honesty there. So here's the question that we want to consider in this situation. How might we help them know what to say? Because here's the thing, those raving fans out there, they want to refer you. They want to talk about you to other people, but sometimes they just don't know what to say, or they don't know the right way to connect you. So here's our first recommendation going into and resource. We want to make it easy for people to refer you. And part of that comes with giving them the words to say. So we lose customers because we force them to really burn too many mental calories to remember and refer us. The brain is lazy. It wants to conserve energy. So when things become difficult or the brain doesn't know the exact path, it just decides that, hey, it's not worth the effort. So by making things easy, we can help avoid that and not lose out on that business. So we want to give them a story to tell, and we call this your real agent brand story. And what this really is what people say about you when you're not there. And the good news is that they will say the things that we ask them to. If they really had a great experience with you, they are going to want to pass on your name, and they just want the right words to say. And so the thing that I want you to think about here is, in one sentence, if someone was going to refer you, what would you want them to say? What does that sound like? What are those words? And here's a hint. Make sure that what they're saying is focused on the consumer and how you would be helping them or getting them the best results or aggressively marketing their home, whatever it might be. And we have a resource for this. If you take that QR code down at the bottom or go to 20-mr.com/ABS, you can download that sheet that's off in the corner there, and this will walk you through the process of creating that communication and that message and making it easy for you to pass that on to your clients and for your clients to be able to pass that on to other people that you interact with. All right, let's jump into an agent success story. I love this one. This is great. Agent I know back in June picked up one of our recommended books, Jordan Cohen's The Agent Edge. Jordan Cohen's the #1 RE/MAX agent worldwide. Well, he was 5 times in a row when he wrote the book, 6 times now because he just was again last year. So this agent read the book, didn't just say, hey, that was great and put it back down, actually changed up their whole way they handled listing appointments because Jordan talks about it as, specifically what he does. This agent read it in June, made all those changes in June, and since the end of June, this agent has taken on 10 listings, and 5 of those he can directly relate to specific things from this book that won him that listing appointment. And so if you haven't picked up this book, you can get it from Amazon, or you can get it the Audible version and listen to it whenever you're doing other things around the house. But highly recommend it. It is working for others. And if you want to know how the top agent in the entire Remax system is doing their business, Jordan lays out his entire listing appointment presentation for you. We will have another great agent success story next month, all around handwritten notes. And so make sure you jump in on that one next month. All right, we're rolling into our referral generation activities. And we know that hard work turns dreams into reality, and consistency makes them last. And that's what we are focused on with the annual planner and the $20 million referral formula, is making sure that we keep consistent with what we're doing. And here are our referral gen activities for October. Reasons to call and leave voicemails, email or text, or to mail postcards or other mailings. Reminder, if it's got a blue plus by it, that has been integrated into our KV Core CRM, which makes it super easy to execute on these items or to use those scripts and dialogues. You can download these as well and integrate them into your CRM. Just grab that link before, or the QR code of 20-mr.com/October, and it'll take you to a page directly and specifically just for October. And you can see the quarterly market report is highlighted in red. Highly recommend using that and getting that out. It's something that we provide and put right in the KV Core system, covering the previous quarter. And so that'll be ready October 15th for it to go out. Now, when we enter October, we're also jumping into our fourth and final quarter. And those of you that are familiar with the $20 million referral system, we have lists of quarterly events and gifts. You can see those here. Some of these you're going to want to do earlier in the quarter. So if you're going to do a family photo event, especially if that's going to be outside, that's going to be something you're probably going to want to do earlier in the quarter, where the rest of them can come along at any point in time or a little bit later. Pick a date, pick that date today, put a budget in there today, and start working on this. You can download the standard operating procedures, the instructions for hosting each one of these events from the link below or from the QR code. Super easy to execute by just following those instructions. And as a bonus, something that you can is, again, super easy to do, doesn't take a ton of work or effort. And this is something that you could really do anytime, doesn't have to just be in the final quarter, and that is free coffee Friday. So here's the idea: pick a coffee shop to work from on a Friday morning. Invite your sphere to meet you there from a certain period of time. It's 8 to 10 or something. And during that time, if they come and meet you, you will buy them their cup of coffee to get their day going and get started. Have a little bit of business related take home material there for them, something to give them, something of value. And then you can either keep the same location or rotate it to a new coffee shop on different Fridays. You could do this monthly, whatever you choose to do. Maybe coffee's not your thing. Maybe you like, tropical smoothies. We'll come up with something clever around that and do the same sort of thing. It just creates those one-on-one interactions, or at the very least, it shows your sphere you're thinking about them, you care about them, and you get credit for that invitation. Another alternative to this one, you can get branded Starbucks gift cards, branded whatever, coffee gift cards, $5 a piece. Send out 20 of them a month. Over the course of the year, you can hit a sphere of 240 people, each person getting a personal gift. So that might be something you want to continue or consider as a spin off of this idea. It doesn't cost you much more than $100 plus stamps for each month. Anybody can afford to do it, and I promise you, you'll reap the benefits. So give this one a try. All right, and if you're unfamiliar with any of that I just talked about, any of the $20 million referral formula, you can download your launch kit at 20-mr.com, and there is the QR code right there. Get you ready to go. All right, few minutes left here. We have been working over the past 4 months to design your environment to make good habits obvious and visible. And again, that's all based off of James Clear and his Atomic Habits. So, and we've been doing that through our top pro office observations because we know success leaves clues. So these are all photos and observations from actual agent offices out there, top performing agents. And here's what we've been seeing and covering this time. So items of motivation and education. So whether it's quotes, whether it's above the line and below the line thinking to keep our minds right, whether it's vision boards, whether it's training materials. We see Buffini in here, whether it's books on marketing or real estate specific or whatever it might be, or simply reminders. And I see that even the Dale Carnegie 30 principles are in there as well, just about how to interact and deal with people. So surround yourself with these things to keep your mind right. I love today will be a good day because sometimes we need those reminders because it can be a struggle. So Zig Ziglar said, people often say motivation doesn't last. And he says, well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So put these things in front of you. Lou Holtz said, ability is what you are capable of doing, motivation determines what you do, and attitude determines how well you do it. And then on the learning side of things, or the education side, once you stop learning, you start dying. That's what Albert Einstein said to say about it. And Henry Ford said, anyone who keeps learning stays young. Sounds like some great results to me from putting those things in our environment and really designing it so that it makes those good habits possible. And we saw in there that we had a book, or we saw some Dale Carnegie quotes in there, the top 30 things from Dale Carnegie. And so that inspired me to go back and reread his famous book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And if you haven't picked it up before, you need to. If you haven't read it for a while, I recommend you grab it again. You can even see Warren Buffett on the cover there said, Carnegie changed my life. And for all of us who are in an industry where our primary goal is to build relationships with people, this book is just pure gold, and pick it up and it will change everything for you. All right, lastly, as we're wrapping up here, we always like to just point out a few key days in October. I love the first one, National Homemade Cookie Day. Just gave me the idea of, hey, dropping off some different cookie doughs and allowing people to have an activity around that, specifically for people in your sphere that may have kids. Columbus Day is in there, Bosses Day. Bosses are connectors, so they have people that they interact with all the time. Consider Bosses Day cards to all those people in your sphere that are bosses, managers who are in those positions where they are interacting with lots of people. That's a great way to broaden your sphere of influence. Sweetest Day, don't forget about that. The third Saturday, and obviously Halloween. So lots of great days that you can leverage. We talked about football season last time too. Maybe you want to think about a day in October where it's a rivalry game and you can host some sort of event around that, or even just invite a few friends to participate with you. So that is all we have for you in October. I hope that there was some great nuggets in there, some things that you can take and run with, or maybe just some reminders of things that you need to do to make sure you're prepared for October. So here's the thing. When you write things down versus just listening to all of that, or write down, hey, what was the most impactful thing, or what is the thing that I think is most useful from that meeting? It solidifies that in your mind. You're much more likely to take action on it and do it and remember it. So I encourage you to write that down. I encourage you to write that in the chat, both to help you solidify it in your mind, but also to let us know what we're providing is resonating with you and what things that we can keep on providing to you going forward. So I'll give you time to do that in the chat right now. And along with that, I'll just finish up by saying, hey, if you know anybody in real estate who may be experiencing any of these emotions right now, connect them with us. Connect them with $20 million referrals. We want to help them. We want to help them, again, be the agent everybody loves to hire and refer, because we believe you deserve a enjoyable, predictable, and lucrative business. And so do all these agents feeling this way right here. So again, we love your agent referrals. And so if you know somebody looking for something new or different, please send them our way. Great. Brian in the chat, thank you. Free Coffee Fridays and Teaching My Sphere how to refer me. Terrence, remember to ask for referrals and teach them what to say. Perfect. Great things to execute on. It will definitely result in more business for you.